Muy bien, estamos en ajustes prefinales y antes de proceder con esta tercera sesión plenaria, entonces vamos a recibir al señor Biswajit Garg, que es representante residente en Sao Paulo de Export-Import Bank of India, y nos va a compartir su presentación previo a esta sesión plenaria. Así es que, por favor, señor Garg, adelante.
Okay, good afternoon and namaste. So the thing is that I'll have to continue only in English because if I speak in Spanish, only I will understand. So let me continue in English only. And on that part, I'm from Export-Import Bank of India, or in short, Exim Bank or India Exim Bank. I'm the resident representative presently heading entire Latin America and the Caribbean region. So we have just, opened our office as a one, I'm very new to be a resident in this part of the world. And I thought that, it's a very good opportunity to introduce myself to you and inform about what Exim Bank is and how the trade between India and Latin America is actually progressing. Okay, let me just go to the next slide. So presently I am residing in Sao Paulo. So yeah, right now, trying to understand Portuguese and trying to blend more with the culture. So, well, okay, got it, right? There, right? Thank you. Okay, so just going to a basic idea of how the trade is. So you probably know India has just recently become, we are the fourth largest economy in the world, around 4.2 trillion US dollar of GDP. In terms of growth, if you go by the real GDP growth figures, it is something around 6.2 to 6.3% a year in terms of real. In nominal terms, it's more than 10% a year. And so if you could imagine, every year somehow around 400 billion US dollar of GDP is being added. In terms of trade, our total trade already exceeded 1 trillion US dollar. And the point is that we are seeing more and more, trade focus, trade between the Latin American part of the world and India, which is coming up. I'll just go to my next slide. Yeah. So if we see what I said about the trade right now, USA, China, traditional trade partners are the largest trading partners of India. But there is a paradigm shift, what we are seeing, how exactly trade is happening. Let me just go to the next slide. It shows overall our exports. And in terms of service exports, we are in the top 10. We're looking at, by 2030, at least our total trade goes up to 2 trillion US dollar. In terms of, Latin American part of the world, if we all together see, if you see how it has changed, it was just 29 billion US dollar in 2020. And it has gone up to 47 billion US dollar within a period of 5 years. It is just almost doubling with a compound annual growth rate of roughly 10%. And what we see, more trade and buy, probably next 5 years down the line, the idea is that it could reach the 100 billion US dollar figure. And when we see the countries, if we see the way the trade is happening, and if you see the exports, motor cars, cars, there are a lot of oil and petroleum products, chemicals, textile, all the sectors we are touching. So it is one of the things what we see, there's a lot of potential, and it is one of the reasons why we have started our operations in terms of physical operations in this part of the world. I'll just see, it actually reflects the size of the economy. The trade, if we see how exactly it is, Brazil, Mexico being large economies, of course the trade figures are higher, but it touches everything, be it Dominican Republic, Peru, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay. So what we see, in fact, giving my personal example, over this last few months or so, I'm seeing there is a lot of inquiring for Indian exporters or so from here, the importers, how exactly to have more trade or the guarantees. So it creates a necessity for us to have a very good networking with the institution and banks over here. So this is the office being there anytime available to discuss and take the trade forward. In terms of, this actually see how exactly the value works. So of course, it's a chart, but what the most important thing, it's a products. So we see the product, it touches everything. When you go by the harmonized cost system, it actually touches all the kind of equipment. So there is a vast area of, cooperation for us. Coming to that, I'll just come about what exactly we are after that. So we are 100% owned by Government of India. We are, the investment rated agency. We are the premier export credit agency for more than 40 years now. And we have our offices across the globe. This is the newest office. We have an office in Washington, D.C. We have 3 offices in Africa. We have a branch in London. We have an office in Dubai, Singapore, and we have an office in Dhaka. Our head office is in Mumbai. And in terms of operations, we operate across the globe. All the countries have funded projects in all the parts of the world. I would say have some more. In terms of business, so India, we follow a financial year concept, which starts from 1st of April to 31st of March, unlike the calendar year. So our financial year just concluded on 31st of March. So these figures are there. If we see, we have, although we are don't motivated by earning profit, but profit is always an yardstick of efficiency. So in that way, I would say we more look into, how exactly we are doing in terms of profit, but the idea is that to facilitate export, to make it much more easier for more and more market players, banks, or everyone coming to the place. And, to this part for our was like to facilitate more trade between different parts of the world. So if you ask, so our total business is roughly $22 billion. We are a very small organization, globally only 400 people altogether. And our total business, if you see here, is roughly $47 billion US, and very, very, tight in terms of NPA for the bank. It is very important assets. This is roughly 1.71. And just let me tell you, we have investors from all around the world. We are one of the, premier bond issuer from India. Investors from, Latin America as well. We have issued bond in this part of the world under private placement. So we are saying that we are do 2 types of business being owned by Government of India. One way we do something called policy business, where we provide concessional funding to different parts of the world to our development partners. At the same time, we do commercial business. So I would say in terms of policy business, it is more of diplomatically driven, where the country's government approaches our government through the embassy, and we are the facilitator or the fund. We do the funding as we are the funding agency in that case. So where if you see we have a commitment of $27 billion around 62 countries, we have a portfolio of around 900 million in the Latin American part of the world, this part of the world, and I would say we have funded projects of roughly $16 billion on contracts of 965. It's a very impressive figure, and we have been looking at more and more collaboration. And one more, if you see that basket, of course, the basket is more of Asia and Africa. But if you see Latin America, we are looking at more and more transactions, and which is happening. I'll show in my next slide something. And since it's basically when we do policy business, it's basically infrastructure and social development. So you see that more of connectivity, such as road, bridges that way, or power or water. These are the sectors that we look into. Coming to that, when we do a project funding under diplomatic way or concessional funding, the basic idea for us is to actually create a social impact for the country. So such as setting up an IT institution in Côte d'Ivoire, or having a cricket stadium in Guyana, or supporting the MSME in Kenya that way. One of the major projects that is going on as of now, we are funding in Guyana for their connecting road project. This country is emerging. This project is going on. We are expecting to complete this project within this year. Now, why I am here and what exactly I'm looking for is our commercial business, where we are looking at more and more connections, building networking, so that we could reach out each other. Here, if you see, we have a last year itself, India only has $16 billion new sanctions we had given the projects. But at the same time, I'd go to the next. So in terms of our project exports, we have supported around $7 billion of project exports. We are seeing more and more Indian companies are coming for the project exports. And this is the part where we can look into institutions, be it co-financing, be it risk participation, definitely. We're looking for partners in that. Coming to that, one of the things is that we also support Indian ventures. We have supported ventures in different parts of Latin America to have mergers, acquisitions, supporting their working capital way. We're creating, impacting the global value chain. We have supported this kind of facilities in 78 countries across the globe, where around 9.21 billion. So this is the most important thing where I'm looking forward to, building more and more connections. We have started something called Trade Assistance Program. This is basically why you're doing, because we are seeing Indian companies supplying the products here or someone. So we need a partner. Since they are smaller institution, we always need an intermediary or a bank to discuss more about it. And when the trade deal happens, be it, say, consider it as a guarantee, or it's an ALC confirmation or a risk participation, anytime short-term credit or requirement of a credit line, definitely where we need more and more partners. And we have done multiple deals across here because when there's export of the motor vehicles or wheelers or project exports, there's always a requirement of trade finance products. So our basic idea is that we get more and more bankers, and trade finance is all about the speed. The faster we do, the faster that business happen. So we are seeing, be it in Argentina, be it in Brazil, we are seeing in Colombia, Peru, a lot of trades are happening. So yeah, apart from it, we also we have a very active research and development wing. We do the promotional activities as well. The research and development, we focus on certain countries, considering Latin America is one of our key focus. Last year in ALIDE, we have launched a particular research paper on development in Latin America and how to increase the trade. So we are partnering, you probably heard, we are signing, last week we have signed an FTA with UK. So in Exim Bank is one of the key contributors while doing the research for a free trade agreement. I would say, we have helped Barbados setting up their export credit agency, that assignment we have been doing. Then we also sponsor since 2016 the BRICS, which is coming up in in Brazil in July. We sponsor a particular award, a citation award for BRICS research, BRICS institutions. And well, this is finally who am I right now, being in Sao Paulo. And anytime, anything that you look into, like regarding the trade with India, or looking at, if you want to figure out something, okay, we have some deals where we have a customer from your bank or institution who is looking at having certain trade deals with India, you can definitely reach out to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.